to the Athletes in Motion podcast, From Race to Recovery, with your hosts, Tom Riegel and Kenny Bailey.
Hey, Tom.
We're good. Hey, how's it going, Kenny?
I am going well. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I want to introduce you to Gerell Webb. He is I Train 365. Is that right?
That is correct.
Hey, Gerell, welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. What's up, Fit Fam?
We are going to talk today about sort of a few things about motivation, how people kind of get and stay healthy. But I think let's just cover the elephant in the room right now, which is you are one jacked individual. Are you mad at the weights? Is it something you're angry with? Did they piss you off in an earlier life? What's going on?
It's my magnificent obsession. I'm actually in love with the weights. I'm not mad at them at all. But,
right.
Yeah.
That's funny. And you're a new father, so congratulations.
New father,
congrats.
yeah. So if you guys got any tips, man, on how to get through this thing, please let me know. I got nothing.
I got dogs. I got dogs. That's all I got.
I got three kids in their 20s, and I tell you, it just gets more expensive. So it's not.
So keep working.
Keep working. Yeah. That's not going away.
Yeah. It's just, it's less plastic, more expensive. That's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah.
So incredibly, you're a coach, you're a lifestyle brand, you're a lot of things. Did you start out as a kid, as an athletic kid, or is that something that you developed over time? Tell us kind of was it something that you were just your family did, or is it something that you decided this is your journey?
Yeah, so funny enough, man, I'm actually one of the few athletes in the family.
Really?
But I've always been an athlete. I've always loved playing outside. I've always loved football. I've played football since I was 7. That turned, into a collegiate career, a little bit of pro, and then kind of naturally transitioned into, what we're doing now. Never been the biggest, fastest, strongest guy, but I love the background. I love the work. I love the work ethic. So that's kind of how I got into this. And so my thing was always, because I'm not the biggest, fastest, strongest guy, I have to work harder. And because you may be faster, stronger, better athlete than me, then I'm going to outwork you to get where I want to be.
Yeah.
So that's kind of always been my mindset.
What positions were you doing in football?
I played cornerback and free safety.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And would you play collegiately?
I played collegiately at the Middle Tennessee State University.
Awesome. Like Ohio State.
Right? Yeah, but a little smaller. Yeah.
But better.
Cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So what'd you get out of that? I mean, it's like you said, you weren't the fastest, you weren't the strongest. When it's an ethic thing, but at some point in time, it's also a size thing too, right?
Yeah.
So when you started, one of the things we want to talk about is sort of that fear, that thing that stops you from doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you're lining up against a person that's 60 pounds heavier than you, or can run half a second faster than you. They're gonna especially you're doing corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a receiver that's 6 inches taller than you. How did you kind of mentally make sure that you were in that game? How did you make sure that you're like, look, you may be taller, you may be faster, but I'm still gonna beat you? I mean, how did you develop that?
I mean, that was exactly it. No one believes me when they meet my mother. My mother is probably the biggest shit talker you'll ever. Like literally,
yeah. She
taught me how to talk shit. And I grew up in Florida, and so if you know anything about Florida cornerbacks, you got Deion Sanders. That for one,
sure, yeah.
We talk a lot, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times is you talk and then you back it up. You have to back it up.
You have to.
And so I've always had that mindset of I can do anything. My mother would tell you that. Like he's always had the mindset of he can do anything. Like, so why are you on the roof, Gerell? I'm going to jump off and I'm going to land. No, you can't do that. No. Yeah. So I'm the guy that when you say I can't, that's all I think about.
That's what gets you fired up.
Okay, let me
Tell
show
me no,
you. Yeah,
I'll do it.
Right. So let me show you that I can. So to answer your question, when we played my first 3 collegiate games was University of Alabama, University of Tennessee, University of Kentucky.
Well, that's all.
Right? At MTSU, right? So I remember like being in Rocky Top and looking around like, man, this is what 100,000 people looks like. And they're all screaming Rocky Top at you. And you're like, man, this is crazy, right? But once you settle in, like these are the moments that you were created for. These are the moments that you play in the backyard for. Like these are the times. Like so a lot of it is you rehearse it in your head.
Yeah.
Like so I've been here before. I've already created my success mentally. Now I'm just literally walking into it. So if I see a guy that's bigger, faster, stronger than me, everybody has a weakness. What is that? How do I figure out what that is? And a lot of the times is you may be all of these things, but so am I, right? So a lot of times when we run into situations, we downplay ourselves, right? You magnify the obstacle, right?
Absolutely.
And you're like, oh my God, it's 26 miles. How can I ever do that?
Yeah.
1 mile at a time,
right? Exactly.
It's literally that easy. That's 1 mile down. That's 2 miles down, right? So those things are behind you, and then not forgetting who you are and what you've already accomplished. And so if you are, starting out and, you find things are getting difficult, remind yourself of who you are. What have you already done, right? And if you've done nothing else, you've survived, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have a super long resume, you survived, right?
Yeah.
Out of 4 billion sperm, you were the fastest, right? You started your life off as a winner, right? You started life as a winner,
there
right?
You go.
We found our quote, right? Out of 4 billion sperm, you're the fastest. Gerell Webb.
Right? So just think about that,
that's awesome.
Right? You started off as a winner, and you just have to keep doing that.
Yeah, So I did my first Ironman. I thought it was it, right? I'm going to be an Ironman. I'm going to do this, right? And the next year, for some reason, fear got to me. Yeah. And one of the things that I want to kind of explore more. This is, by the way, this is a therapy session for me today. It has nothing to do with the audience.
We do these things.
It's all me, right?
It's not really a podcast.
Help me.
Yeah, totally.
But one of the things was I did a do not start at an Ironman in Arizona, and I'm embarrassed to say it. And I freaked out because I'm like, I didn't earn my way here. I didn't train enough. I'm not, I didn't put the hours I should be putting into it. And I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, I literally had my wetsuit on.
Yeah.
This is a confession, by the way. I had my wetsuit on, ready to go, and I'm in a panic attack. And I'm like, I don't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I'm trying to figure out. You've got a strong mother and a strong will, and you just leaned into it. Mm-hmm. For those people that face that sort of thing, and I sense. What I did is I backed up. I went to sprint triathlons, reminding myself why I was doing them, and sort of did short course ones so I can figure out, I deserve to be here. But how do you help a person that kind of, you get a lot of clients that come in and they're going to have a lot of self-doubt. There's going to have I don't know if I should be doing this. I don't know if I can doing this. I look at everybody else. Before I show up to a race, I think everyone looks like they're 6'3", 8% body fat, and you find out real people show up. Probably same thing for a football game, right?
Absolutely.
Alabama's a name, and you show up. It's like, oh wait, that's a human. On you. It's like, how do you help people sort of get through that self? That's the part that cripples me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, fear is paralyzing, and so I think it was Will Smith that said it best. So I got to give him this quote: "Is fear is not real. Danger is real." But fear is not real. Think about that whole experience. No one ever came up to you and said you're not supposed to be here.
Exactly.
You told all that stuff to yourself.
Exactly.
Right? You had a whole conversation in your mind of I didn't train enough. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. But we're here now.
Yeah.
Right? So what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
So that's always my thing is, yes, life happens, right? Just be honest. We've all had hills to climb in life, right? Yeah. Life happens. Now, what do you do about it, right? Are you going to stop? Are you going to let fear paralyze you? If, for instance, if I was on my way out today, I tripped and fell, right? Mm-hmm. And when you came in tomorrow, I was still laying there. What would you say?
Yeah, it's kind of.
You probably should
exactly.
Are you dead? If you're not dead, right?
Get up.
Right? You need to get up, right? And so it's the same. Yes, this happened. Kenny, this hurt when I fell.
Yeah.
But now what?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing in life with obstacles, with fear, is you're afraid. So you have to, the only way to conquer fear is to conquer fear.
Yeah.
Right? That's literally the only way you get over fear is by going through it and figuring out, it wasn't really that bad.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Yes, he has an A on his helmet, and yes, he goes to Alabama, but guess what? He has 2 feet.
Yep.
He has 2 pair of cleats. He puts his pants on one leg at a time, just like I do.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, he has, muscles. Yes, he's bigger. Yes, he's whatever. But guess what?
Yeah.
He's human. At the end of the day, he's gonna bleed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's gonna bleed. He's like,
You're gonna find out.
Yeah, or not. Yeah, or I'm gonna bleed, right? And then sometimes that's the case.
Yeah.
And then you realize that the worst case scenario isn't really that bad, right? So let's get to the end. What's the worst case scenario?
Yeah.
What's the very worst case? You finish last in the triathlon.
Or
you finish or
drown.
drown. But they're not gonna let you drown.
Or
People
don't,
out there,
or
right?
don't finish.
Or don't finish.
Or
right?
don't finish.
Right.
Yeah.
But one, you started.
Yep.
That's more than majority of us.
Yeah.
You were there. You showed up.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
so, that's more than 90% of the world who will go out and do a triathlon. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
so we've already there. You got off the couch.
Yeah.
So now what?
Now what?
That would be my question to you, Kenny. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Now what? Get your ass
Yeah.
in the water.
Yeah,
Let's go.
exactly.
All right. Start swimming. We'll
Love
figure
this, man.
We'll figure the rest out later. But start swimming. Right.
I try to encourage athletes to keep a journal and then the training log. And in the training log, it has all the data and everything else that they kind of track, all of that, but also get them to put down their emotions, how they were feeling, what was going on a little bit. It just has to be short stuff. And then sitting on race morning, flipping through that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that helps get over that I don't deserve to be here
'cause you
kind
know
of
what you've
attitude
done.
because you've seen it,
That's
right?
your
We
resume.
forget about the work
Yeah.
that we've put into it
Yeah.
to understand that I do actually deserve to be here and
Yeah.
I'm going to take that guy. I'm going to beat him.
Yeah, and remove your feelings. Get your feelings out of the way.
Yeah.
Your feelings don't matter.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm scared, good. Right?
Yeah.
I had a coach who always said, if you're not nervous before the game, that means you don't recognize the magnitude of the moment.
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening
Excellent.
right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you're somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're nervous, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm like literally before I go on stage, before I speak, before I came in here, I got nervous. 'Cause
Yeah.
what if I mess up? What?
Yeah, yeah.
What? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, what if I don't give them what they're looking for?
Yeah.
But that's good. That makes sure that you understand what's happening. You understand the when I go for a run,
Yep.
like I get nervous. I get a little butterfly. Like, okay, I'm gonna run 5 miles. What if I don't make 5 miles? Like
Yeah.
nobody knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
but
But
me,
you're still there,
But
yeah.
I'm like, what if I do it?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the times is you get rid of your feelings.
Yeah.
Your feelings don't matter, and just start doing the work. Right?
Yep.
The way you run a race is 1 mile at a time,
Yeah.
one step at a time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
So you started coaching. Is it?
Yeah.
It was kind of naturally fell into that. Or was it just so you started sort of? Or was it an intentional thing, or was it an accidental thing?
It was not intentional at all. So the funny story behind this is I was actually a criminal justice major in college.
Oh, there you go.
And I wanted to work undercover DEA. Those were my aspirations if football didn't work out. So when I got back from Atlanta, I started working in the criminal justice industry. And I was still training for football, so I would still go to the gym. I still looked like I played football. And one of my coworkers at the time asked if I would just take her to the gym and show her around. Like, she was just like, I'm trying to get in shape.
Yep.
Can you just take me to, like, show me what this machine does, whatever. I was like, cool. Somehow that turned into personal training. Somehow that turned into me training her. And then she ended up losing over 60 pounds together.
Wow.
We lost 60 pounds together. And so this was actually her idea. She was like, I don't know how you're going to do it, right? But I feel like you should be training people. Like, that's kind of, you have a natural gift in this.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't know that trainers could make money or, like, I gotta make money. Like, that's number
absolutely.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
The only, like, especially black trainer I knew was Billy Blanks. And I'm totally different
Okay.
from Billy Blanks. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
not
a
the same
Tybo
style,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not a Tybo guy at all.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not, like,
Yeah.
dance aerobics guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, how can I monetize that?
Yeah.
And then I took that out of it. I was like, yo, I love working out. I love helping people because I really like helping see her. Like, she turns a whole other person, confidence on another level. Like, she just a whole different person.
It's kind of magical when you see that
It
happen
is,
to somebody
right?
that
It
you're helping.
is.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna jump into it and let's just figure it out.
Yeah.
And then of course I was still working another job. And then naturally I just kind of progressed and started working fitness full time.
Nice.
So how long ago was that?
So over 10 years ago now, man.
Wow,
I think
nice.
it was 12 years now.
Has it all been
I
in
think
the
this is year
Nashville?
12. Yeah, actually, yeah, Nashville and a little Murfreesboro.
Okay. So what kind of? I know you've got a wide variety of sort of people that you train. Who comes to you and trains with you? What is that average person?
I have everybody from professional athletes to Sally soccer mom. So I think the great thing about who I am and what I do is that I can literally train anyone.
Yeah.
My passion is for general population. I love just training people who don't think they can do what they see me do or what they see you guys do. So those are my passion people. I still train athletes just because it's fun. I get to pull out all the tricks and all that great stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've had opportunities to go in, and do it collegiately, to be a strength and conditioning coach, but it's just not a passion for me. Those guys, you're going to do that anyway. That's your job. And it's only so much, like Derrick Henry comes in, it's only so much better I can get Derrick Henry. My job is really not to hurt Derrick Henry, right? That's literally our job. Like, don't hurt him.
Don't mess it up.
Yeah, don't mess it up, right?
It's good.
That's
Don't mess it up.
I like that.
Don't mess it up. But Sally Soccer Mom, she can come in at one level, and I can take her to a whole nother level, right? And have her somewhere else.
You certainly see the biggest returns on that, working with athletes that don't know they're athletes.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think, for me, I think everybody's an athlete. That's just my personal opinion. You just don't know it yet. You haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah.
And so they see even other clients that have been with me longer doing certain things like, oh, I can never do that. She couldn't either when she first got here.
Exactly.
Right? But now we've progressed and we've gotten, further along. And so in 6 months, a year from now, you stick with it, you'll be doing the same stuff. And somebody will coming in looking at you saying, oh, I could never do that. So that's what it's about.
So when you get those folks, do you see kind of a natural, is there sort of they start out nervous and afraid and then they sort of lean in? How do you see that progression occur? I mean, is there kind of a traditional, like it's progressing, or you can almost see this ahead of time? Like with Sally Soccer Mom, she comes in, it's going to be, okay, I'm nervous, I'm going to look around, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to feel embarrassed that I'm not lifting the weights correctly or not enough. And then I'm sort of leaning into it a little more. Can you talk to us about that progression of what that looks like from sort of crap, what did I think I was doing to now I'm fierce? So
I mean, I think it's like going to the doctor, right? You go to the doctor because you don't know what's going on with your body and you're trying to figure it out. You go to see an expert, whether it's a doctor or a health coach or psychiatrist, whatever, somebody who's more knowledgeable in that area than you are.
Sure.
And that's the whole point. That's why I remind them. Like, you're here because you don't know what you're doing. Like, right? And that's okay. Everybody's here.
And that's okay is the key.
Yeah.
Right? It's okay not to know.
Yeah. You're in the hospital because you're sick.
Yeah.
But guess what? Everybody in the hospital is sick. Besides the doctors, right? It's not just you. And so understanding that everybody has a day one. We all have a day one, right? We all have a starting point. And that's why you're here with me. Like, I'm going to make sure that you are doing it correctly, that you're not going to hurt yourself, but I'm going to push you. And the biggest thing is people don't understand what it feels like to be pushed, right? You've never been pushed before in life like that. You know what I mean? And so I have a saying, like, you're not tired, you're out of breath. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's great.
Right?
I love that. Yeah.
There's a difference between being tired and out of breath. When you're out of breath, you start to panic, right? Like, think about swimming, right?
Yeah.
Think about, like when you swim, right? What do they tell you? Just relax.
Yeah.
Slow and smooth, smooth and strong.
Yep.
Right? Just keep going.
Yeah.
It's when you start to fight the water that you get in trouble.
That's when you lose.
And then, so if you slow down, you're not tired. You can keep swimming. You're just out of breath. You got to breathe, right?
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing. Most people don't know what that feels like, and that's when they get afraid. That's when the fear kicks in, and you have to constantly remind them, like, yo, you're okay. You're fine. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Just
right?
breathe. Just breathe.
Yeah, just breathe. That's literally, if you just keep doing that, you're going to be just fine, right? If you just keep breathing, slow that breathing down, remind yourself, and learning to talk yourself through things, right? Mentally. You guys will enjoy this. I did a sprint triathlon.
Nice.
It's been a year ago now, I think, maybe 2 years ago. The swim kicked my ass.
Yep.
Right? I'm one big muscle. I sink.
Totally,
if I'm not moving, I'm going to the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And so, I trained. I did everything I was supposed to do. For whatever reason, that morning just wasn't my morning, right?
Yep.
And so, my coach at the time, like, he was there. My wife was there. She, she knew I was doing it, but it's totally out of my realm. Like, I've never done it before. It was like, yo, I'm going to do this triathlon thing. And so my wife is watching me, right? And so I'm struggling.
Yep.
I'm struggling on the back half of the swim. And she's telling my coach, James, you got to get him.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, he's going to die out there, right? Like, if you don't get him, he's not going to quit. He's not going to surrender. He's going to die trying to finish, right?
Yeah.
And James was like, he's fine. Like, I trained him. He's cool. Yeah, he'll push through.
Yeah.
But my wife had never seen me struggle. Like physically, she's never seen me struggle in anything. Right?
For a guy that's always been the guy that doesn't, right? You're the one leading.
Right? Yeah. And now, so that's why she freaked out. Like physically, she's like, oh, he can do anything. I'm Superman, right? Until I'm not. Until I'm in the water drowning, right? And she's like, yo, you got to go get him.
Yeah.
And so, like, when she was telling me the story, my coach was like, they were talking about it afterwards, and of course, I finished. Okay, let me make sure I finished.
Well,
I got
here.
out. I'm here. I didn't have to get rescued or anything like that. I finished my swim. It wasn't pretty, but I finished. And when she was telling me the story, I was like, yo, that is how. If I die today, that's how I want to be remembered.
Yeah. He
didn't surrender. He died fighting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so the fact that she knew that about me, that was a personality trait.
Yeah.
Was big to me. Like, yo, whatever I do, that's the legacy that I want to leave, is that he didn't surrender. He died fighting. So whether I get to be, this huge training star or wherever my life takes me, when it's all over, that's what I want her to stand up and say as a eulogy. He didn't surrender. He died fighting. But on the back end, the coach at the time was like, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's been trained.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Like I know, like he's good.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of the times it's outside noise.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Of everybody saying,
absolutely,
why are you doing this? Why? Oh my God, he looks like he's killing you. When I post a video on Instagram when you're training, oh my God, you look. And so that gets into your head, and you're like, oh, I was kind of dying a little bit, but maybe I shouldn't go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting part too is what you're saying is she said it's not, hey, he's giving up and he's going to drown. It's like he is going to either finish or die. Like there's no other, like it's black and white, right? It's funny because, most people are like, oh my gosh, he's given up and, we need to go save him. You didn't give up. It was, you're going to,
there's no other option.
Finish or do it.
But that's why you had a coach, right?
Yeah.
You're a coach that had a coach.
That had a coach,
right?
Yeah.
The coach has seen all of this.
Yeah.
That's why you bring that expert in that kind of helps you get through that. It's in a triathlon. You brought a triathlon coach in that then has seen this with
everybody.
Probably hundreds of other, athletes that they go, no. It's been far worse than this.
Yeah.
You're fine.
He's going to fight.
Trust me, you didn't see him last Tuesday.
Right? He's a lot better than he was.
This is an improvement.
Yeah, we did have to save him that time. So. And I have a theory, and I want to run it by you because I was thinking about this yesterday. I had to do hill repeats, and I don't know why I thought 16% grade was a good idea, but I did. To which, by the way, I called my coach last night, and he was like, "Don't do that.
Yeah, don't ever do that.
Yeah, just don't do that.
Right.
I'm doing this for a reason,
right.
dude.
Everything, there's a method to the madness.
But I was kind of think there's sort of this, people ask about endurance and like, how do you become an endurance athlete and all those things. That's crazy. And I think there's kind of like 3 phases, and I'm going to run this by you. Tell me if it's correct. You have that first phase, which I think most people stop at, and I think this is what you're talking about. That first phase is I'm going to have to get to uncomfortable. Right, it's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. That first part is generally where either people stare it down or they walk off. Mm-hmm. Right, and then you get to that phase where you're uncomfortable. And for endurance athletes, this is my theory, that you just stay in that uncomfortable zone as long as humanly possible. You just plateau right there. It's not going to get any better, but it's probably not going to get much worse. Right. And if I can stay in that spot, that plateau, for as long as the race, and I'm going to have a good race. The second I move off that plateau and it gets into oh shit mode, that's when people start crumbling, and that's when you get the, I bonked and I do whatever. It's sort of that. I guess I'm asking you, when you get new folks that come in or folks that are returning that have an expectation, because that's another thing. Is athletes that,
realistic.
Yeah, it's been like a year and a half, especially now, right? They're coming back and they're like, look, I used to bench this, or I used to run this speed, or I used to be this fast, and no longer that.
Yeah.
How do you get them past that sort of, first off, do you believe in the theory that there's that kind of, once you're uncomfortable, you stay uncomfortable? And then secondly, is that the part that you just got to get them through to say, yeah, it's going to hurt, but you're going to be hurting only for this amount of time?
Yeah.
Trust me on this one, right? Let's get you that plateau. It's not going to get better until the end of the workout. Yeah. And then once at the end of the workout, you're good. You're either going to, like you said, you're either going to get much, much worse, or you're going to be done and you'll be happy. Is that kind of?
Yeah, I think you're definitely on track there. I think the biggest thing is, is being uncomfortable, or being comfortable being uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Right? I think that's the biggest thing. And at some point, don't take this the wrong way. Yeah. Endurance athletes are crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
No.
We know that.
You said, we know that, right? So what I'm saying is a mental thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's no difference, right? 26 miles is 26 miles, right? But it's not that you can't do it. It's just, I don't want to run for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to do anything.
Four.
It's or 4 or however long, right? 5, however long, right? I think that's the biggest thing. Is like when you look at it at the end of it, it's like, man, I gotta run for 4 hours. Like, I don't want to do anything for 4 hours. Like, there's nothing in this world I want to do for 4 hours straight.
Yeah.
Right. But run, right? So you're gonna go run and then bike and then swim, or swim, bike, run, like all at one time. Like, that doesn't sound like a good time to me. You know what I mean?
Most people think that way. Yeah.
Right. And so it's a mindset, and the mindset is we're so comfortable in life, and that's great, right? Yeah. That's great. But if you really want to be great, you have to be okay with being uncomfortable.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
You have to. It's not who you are when things are going well. It's who you are when the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like when you have blisters on your feet, right? When it is pouring down raining outside, when it is 100 degrees outside, right? Yeah. So you don't allow your conditions to dictate what the goal. Your goal is the goal, and it takes what it takes. Right?
Yeah.
It takes whatever it takes, that's what it takes. Yeah. Right? The goal is the goal. If it takes you running in the rain, if it takes you running in 100-degree weather, that's why we have the recovery lounge.
Yeah, there you go.
See, same as Floods, right? Same as Floods. You come in here,
you
get your recovery, you get hydrated, and then you can take your ass on the run the next day, right? Yeah. There are resources for you along the way. And so what I tell people is it's a process, and you have to trust the process, right? And it's going to get hard. It's not going to get any easier. But you have to understand, as you get better, so do I, right? So as you progress, right? As you progress, so do I. Think about your coach. Like, as you progress, okay, you're killing this. Yeah. So now I have to give you more in order to put. That's how I get you out of a plateau. Yeah. If you want to be better, I got to turn it up. I got to turn up the heat on you, right? Yeah. And so it's the same thing in life, right? God, universe, whatever you believe. When you say, yo, I want to be better. I want to be a better dad, a better businessman, a better husband, or whatever. Turn up the heat. Right? So we turn up the heat, and now it's like, okay, it's forcing you to push to another level. It's forcing you to stay up an extra hour so that you can continue to get your work done after you put the kids to bed, wife's going to bed, now you're up alone, and it's quiet and I can do my work, right? It's forcing you to come in after you open, and then it floods. Okay, do you really want to own a business? Right? And you're like, I could stop now. Or we can clean this stuff up and we can have another opening, right? Like, life is gonna force you whenever you go for something, right? Life is gonna punch you in the face, right? And now who you are is how you respond to being punched in the face, right? Yeah. So that fear, going back to the football thing, right? Yeah. So even in practice and 2 days and things like that, our coaches would take biggest guy, smallest guy, line them up, right? And we just want to see, is the big guy who we think he is, right? Yeah. And who is the small guy, right? Because we don't know yet. Yeah. So maybe he's stronger than we think he is, and he knocks the big guy out. Yeah. Or maybe the big guy kills him, right? But will he get up and do it again? Yeah. Right? Yeah. And so that was my biggest thing is, yes, you may hit me. You may knock me down. Yeah. Are you willing to do it again? Yeah. Are you willing to line back up and do it again? And again, right? And again. Because at some point, one of us is gonna give in. It's not gonna be me. Yeah. Right? And so if you're not who you think you are, you're gonna find out real quick. That
tenacity is that carries all through life. Right? Yeah. Because life is that constant knock you down. And that's the stressors that you add. I mean, we add that in training, but life adds stressors as well, and that's where we grow. Yeah. Right? The stress, and then we respond, we grow.
Yeah, the stretching. The stretching is how you grow, right? So even as a coach, you think about, when a day one athlete, let's just go for a run. Let's see what you got, right? Let's see where you are mentally, right? Yep. Okay, I'm going to set the pace, right? Keep up with me. Yeah. Right? Do you try to keep up? Are you the guy who will pass out to keep up with me? Or do you say, forget it, bro, I can't do it, right? So who are you? Now let me know how to write your program, right? Because now I know, okay, if I tell Kenny, hey, Kenny, 6% incline, Kenny's I'll do 16%, right? So now I know, okay, he's that guy, right?
5 is good, 25 is better.
Right.
Exactly. Right? Very logical, by the way.
Right? And so that, more is not always more. More is not always better. Yeah. So now I need to dial back because I know Kenny is that guy, right? So now I know if I tell him to do something hard, he's going to do something hard, right? So I don't have to worry about checking in every 10 minutes with, hey, did you go for your run today? Yeah. I know he did it, right? So it tells you how to coach people.
And I'm sure you've seen that with your athletes as well. You're coaching, there's 4 or 5 different personality types.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you can almost, by the conversation, you automatically know which group they fit into.
Yeah.
Now that you've coached for long enough that you go, oh, yeah, I know how to handle this. I know how to handle this one, and I know how to handle this one.
Yeah, so even my consultations, I call them a fight or flight workout, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like that first workout, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Right? And that's only to see who you are when you get tired, right? I believe that you are who you really are when you get tired.
Yep.
Tired, hungry, sleepy, right?
Yeah.
That's when you become who you are, right?
Yeah.
My wife is, when she gets hungry, she's a horrible person, right?
My wife says that about me.
Right?
Like,
Like,
she just hands me some food.
Yeah, it's like, yo, if you're hungry, babe, just tell me. We got money. We can get some food. Just tell me that you're hungry. You don't have to be upset. Yeah, you don't have to be upset with me. Just tell me you're hungry. And so when you're tired, hungry, that's when you are who you really are. So that's why I push people. And I always, at the end of the work, I say, yo, if you finish the day, it gets easier now, right? I just want to see who you are when you get tired. Will you push yourself or will you quit?
Yeah.
Will you curse and push? Do you complain and push? Do you just complain? Like, who are you when you get tired? That's what I want to see, right? And that lets me know, 1, if you're a good fit to be a client. 2, how to program for you for your off days. Because if you won't push yourself when you're not with me, then that means you need to be with me more, right? Yeah, so that's my suggestions on how often we should train, right? Yeah. And then just what kind of personality. I have some clients that need me to be, a jerk, need me to yell, curse.
Yeah. Some people like that.
Yeah, some people that drive some people.
Yeah.
Others, I need to talk. I need to pull them aside and say, hey, you got it. Real soft, real, encouraging. Like, you got it. Don't worry about it. Just take a deep breath. You're going to push through. That works for some people. Yeah. It's all about learning how to communicate to people and what flips their switch.
So do you see a particular, so you're known, right? I don't think there's
I guess
people.
You can say that.
Well,
yeah.
You're a very popular man.
People know you.
So is there a personality type that already comes? Are they pre-selected before they come to you? And then are there some that you're like, look, when do you say no, I guess, at that point? Is it someone, and it's probably kills you to do that because they need the help, but they're just not ready to help themselves. Is that generally the theme on when you say no?
Not always. I think, like, understanding as a trainer, I've been long enough that I'm not for everybody, right? I'm not everybody's trainer. As much as I want to help everybody, like I literally would save the world if I could, right? And my wife tells me that all the time. Like, I come across as this big, tough, intimidating guy, but really, I would save the world if I could, right? But at the same time, I can't save the world and lose myself, right? And so you have to understand that you're not for everybody, right? You're not everybody's trainer. Okay, because our personalities don't match, right? It's like dating, right? That consultation is like the first date. Like, are we a good fit for each other? Yeah, right. Like, it was fun, but I don't really see us going any further, right? Yeah. And it's really just about being okay with having those hard conversations. Like, I don't know that we'll fit.
Yeah,
right. And because of what I do, and I train a lot, and I am known that I get a lot of people that reach out. Yeah. And once we meet, if it's not a good fit, I don't want to waste my time. I can't get time back, right? Yeah. I can make more money. Yep. I can, get more clients, but I can't get time back. And so I don't want to be 3 months in, and I knew day one that this wasn't going to work because of whatever, because you weren't ready, because of whatever, you know. And so that conversation is usually either I don't think you're mentally ready because everybody wants to lose weight. Everybody wants to. But you don't understand what it takes to actually achieve that goal. Even if you take weight loss, just goals in general. Like, I want to be a millionaire. Do you know what it takes to be a millionaire? Yeah. How much money you need to make a day to be a millionaire, right? Yeah. Like, how much do you have to save, right? Yeah. How much sacrifice? How much extra time do you need to stay up at night just to become a millionaire, right? Yeah. And so, understanding the goal and what the goal will take, right? And everybody's not mentally ready for that. It sounds cool to say, hey, I'm a millionaire, Kenny, right? It sounds cool, right? Yeah. I like saying it out loud. But I'm not there yet. But understanding, like I want to be the CEO. I want to own a business, right? Yeah. Until your business floods. Now you're like, do I want to own a business? Right? Like, I could be doing some other stuff right now, right?
For context, we opened literally 7 days later, we had a flood in place. It's like 7 days old, we had a flood. Yeah. It's like, are you kidding me? and then a tornado, and then a pandemic. You know,
Yeah.
just the usual acts of God.
Yeah,
that
just
you
the regular
get,
stuff.
You know, regular stuff.
But again, you're still here, and that says a lot, right?
Well, yeah, and I think I told my wife 3 weeks ago, I said, I'm either, same thing, right? I'm either going down swinging, you know, if I go down, it's going to be last breath swinging, you know, that I know I left it out there, that I know that I scraped, that I, you know, and I think anybody that starts their own business,
Totally.
if you're not thinking that way,
and when you do
not,
it that way, it's not a failure, right?
Yeah,
because
if I
you
did everything I
experience
could,
something, and then you take that into the next venture, whatever else goes on after that. You take all of that learning that you've got.
Yeah.
So you said something earlier that caught me, and I wanted to get back to it. Is when you said you did your first training session, we lost 60 pounds, and you said the word "we," and I'm assuming that was her, not necessarily you.
Yes.
So underneath all this big rough exterior,
I'm a teddy
big
bear,
hunk of
man.
man you are.
I'm a teddy bear.
I tell you, all that prettiness, all that.
All that trash talking.
You know, you take this stuff very personally, don't you? I mean, because you said that, and it wasn't. You didn't pause for it. You truly think it was a we. When you take on these clients, sounds kind of corny, but kind of a piece of you is going with them, right? We're doing this journey together.
I mean, absolutely. I think this is a very intimate thing, right?
Yeah.
Personal training is very intimate. That's why we call it personal, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I'm giving a lot.
Yeah.
Right. I'm giving a lot to my clients, right? So whether that's encouragement, whether that's energy, because I'm a high energy guy, right? And so, like, I got in trouble. I'll tell this story. I got in trouble with my wife because I would come home and, like, just crash.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk. I've been talking all day. I talked to 25 different people today, okay?
Yeah.
Like, but then when I get home, she's like, oh, how's your day? It's good. I don't have any energy, right? It's good. But she wants to tell me all about her day.
Yeah.
And so she just got fed up, and she's like, yo, you got to save something for me.
Yeah.
You have to save something for me, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I say it's personal, and you know I'd rather have the conversation up front because I'm getting up at 3:45 a.m. I'm leaving my wife at 3:45 a.m. She would love for my alarm not to go off and for me to lay there with her and us wake up together. Like that's the best thing about the pandemic. We got to wake up together.
Yeah.
We never got to wake up together, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm always gone.
Yeah.
Then I'm coming home. I'm showering.
Yeah.
I go work out. I go to bed. Right? Like I do it again, like
day,
over and over and over
Yeah.
again. And so understand that I'm sacrificing just as much, if not more, than you are, right? And all I'm asking you to do is eat right, show up on time, give me effort when you come in. I'm going to give you all those things back. Whatever you give me, I'm going to give it back. I'm going to give it to you regardless, right? Because I have to set the tone. Like if I'm a low energy guy, then when you come in, you're going to be low energy. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. None of us want to be here, right? Just be honest. Nobody wants to get up at 3:45 a.m.,
Nope.
right? But you do it because of what your goals are, because I want to help you.
Yeah.
And so it is a we because we are sacrificing. I'm spending an hour in the gym, plus the time I have to program your workout while you're home asleep, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of work behind the scenes.
Plus
on
the
that.
nutrition part of it. I have to make sure that this matches this. Is it working? The energy that I have to give you when you show up. The energy that I have to give you when you come in and you tell me about your wife or your marital problem, or your boyfriend cheated on you, or all the psychology part of personal training that people don't that we don't talk about. There's a huge emotional hit that we have because you come in and you're doing whatever's going on in your life. Like work is hard today, so you come in with an attitude with me. Like I haven't seen you all day. It's not my fault that you had a bad day at work, right? So, but I have to deal with that. And I have to find a way to work around that. That takes a lot of energy and emotion, and so. It's a we because we sacrifice together.
Oh,
we
absolutely.
push through together. We have those hard conversations together. You're dependent on me just like I'm dependent on you, right? If I went in and robbed a bank in a recovery lounge hoodie, right? You're gonna see the recovery lounge.
Yeah.
And so I tell people all the time that you're my billboard.
Yeah.
Like if you're a client of mine, when you say I train with Gerell, that has to say something.
Yeah.
Right? The first thing people are gonna do is look at you. Do you train with Gerell? Right?
Yeah.
Do you train with Gerell? Like the same Gerell that
Judge you immediately.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like, oh wow, you train with Gerell. Like what's that like? It must be working or whatever. And so if you're my billboard, then it has to be a we because I can't go any further without you.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's as coaches, and I'm not a coach, I'm just a guy that leans on coaches and cries, and I'm the one that tells everyone about that. And that happens at the recovery lounge, by the way, when people come in, like it's like, hey, what are you looking for? And they're like, hey, we need cryo. And then they give us like the 15-year medical history on everything that's wrong with him and why, like, and I'm like, my husband left me. And I'm like, do you want cryo? I mean,
this 3 minutes is
but yeah, so it becomes that because I think to your point, because that's intimate, people's physicality or fitness is a very intimate thing. So as a coach, I like that this conversation is similar to what we were talking about on an earlier podcast about how triathlon, folks that put on triathlons, it's not the easy part is the actual triathlon. It's all the work ahead of time. It's all the, it's not the hour that they're with you. It's the 6 hours that you're putting the training program together, that you're trying to do the nutrition program. And then you have to be the one on point, right? You always have to be with every client. They don't care that you've had a bad day.
Have to bring
they don't care that you have a client. Yeah.
Nope.
You can't have a sick day. I mean, or you can, but you're going to have to.
Yeah, but
you're going to have to really be sick.
They have to see it. Oh, you're sick. Okay, no.
I want to see the vomit in the bucket.
And so that's the hard part. You know, is that you can't have an off day. A client come in and have a horrible day, horrible workout.
Yeah.
If I come in and I put together a trash workout, they're looking at me different, right?
Yeah.
Like it's different.
I'm paying for this.
Yeah.
Really?
Me and my wife fight too.
Right.
Literally just hung up with her. Like you walk in and now you got attitude too. Like I can't do that. Come on.
Yeah.
Or like I do a lot of on camera stuff, and so I even tell like my wife, like we have to be in a good place before I go on camera or go on a trip and shoot content or whatever. Because if I'm not, my mind is gonna be with you. Right. And I'm not going to be able to do the job that I'm being hired to do. And so a lot of the times I'm really good. I'm ex-football player. So I'm really good at compartmentalizing. Like I can put things in their place. And I think as men, we can do that pretty good as well. Like I can put this in the back of my mind to get through this 30-minute meeting. And then, right. But it's still in the back because I'm an energy guy, because I'm a face of certain things. Like, you can still tell when it was good, but it's not quite where it should be. You good? Everything's okay? Like, everything's okay at home? Like, I can feel something's off. I see you pushing through, but I can feel something's off. And so sometimes, right, we have to learn, to compartmentalize, put stuff in its place, right? Don't carry everything with you. And then 2, be able to push through regardless of circumstances, right? So, I'm tired. Yes, the baby was up all night. I still had to get up at 3:45. Right? Still had to come deal with you at 5. Right? I still had to, stay up and write programs. Or, me and my wife are fighting because I dropped some breast milk and she's pissed off with me right now because she spent all night pumping that, right? And so now I'm like, I don't know what to do, right?
And by the way, to Gerell's 5 o'clock client, he really loves you,
right? Well, I have a lot of them, so I do love all you guys, and I would rather, I love being there at 5. I'm not gonna lie, I'm an early morning person. But. But you have to understand, like, it's a sacrifice for everybody. And if we're sacrificing together, I think that's what brings us closer. You see my sacrifice, I see your sacrifice. That's why it's important when I ask you to do something, whether that's, just stop eating trash. Like, let's start there. Let's start there, right? I'm not even going to do it. Not even going to give you this, laid out meal plan that everybody wants. Like, no. Let's just stop going to McDonald's every day. Let's start there. Right?
I just want to look at the menu. I don't want to actually do what you're telling me to do, right? It's like, show some respect. Right?
Like just show me some effort in that you're trying. Effort is between you and you. Nobody can judge your effort. But again, like you said, if you left everything out there. Right? Or the haunting part is knowing that you did it. And you're like, if I could do it again, I would. Right?
Yeah. And that's what's nice about endurance training. I think that's why people do it. It's 2 reasons, I think, my opinion on why people do endurance, because it's not just crazy, but you're trying to set this goal. Like, I need something to scare the shit out of myself, right? That's what gets me up in the morning. I have to, it's like climbing Everest, right? I want to see if I can do it.
Yeah. You need a mission.
Right. Yeah. And then the other thing is when it gets to a certain distance, you can't hide from the stuff that you decided not to do, like sleep in, or I'm just not going to do it. Like, I decide not to get up at 3:45 and meet Gerell at 5 o'clock, right? And that will expose itself at some point in time. So the truth, to your point, you're gonna find truth out there at some point in time. Like, shit, I did eat McDonald's when I shouldn't have been doing that, or I spent 3 days on vacation and I said I was going to do at least a couple of runs. I did nothing, right? That will haunt you at mile 18 on the marathon. It'll haunt you and I think that's my problem, was getting back to me again. It was, it was like, I felt like I just wasn't there when I should have just said, hey, I'm going to have the race I'm going to have. I'm going to get the race I trained for, and that's okay. It may not be a PR or it may not be a good one, and I'm probably going to suffer, but that's the one that I made.
Yeah.
So
and then understand that there is no perfect race. Have you ever had a perfect race?
Yeah. Never.
Never had a perfect race, right?
Yeah.
But
had the perfect plan.
Right.
Gone to hell real quick.
Mike Tyson.
Real quick, the Mike Tyson effect. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, everybody has a perfect plan until you get punched in the face, right?
Exactly.
And we all get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Right. We all have a plan. I have a plan for my life. I had a plan for that race. I wasn't planning on swimming like that.
Yep.
I was gonna go through there, show my wife what I've been doing every day after work. You right?
Yeah.
And here I am struggling on a swim.
Yeah.
And so, like a part of that is, understanding again, who are you when you get punched in the face, right? Even if you did every single thing that you were supposed to do in your training plan, and you checked off every box that your coach sent you.
Yep.
At some point at mile 18, it's still going to kick in. It's going to be mental.
Yep.
I've been running for 2.5 hours, man. Golly, like I just want this to be over.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just ready to finish. Like then go have a beer with my friends, right? But then you have to. Like, the music doesn't matter anymore. Like, I tell people, like, once you start running for a long time, your playlist doesn't matter. The playlist is like first 3, 4, 5 miles.
Yeah.
After that, it's all your inner dialogue, right? Yeah. And what you tell yourself is how you perform, right? And so if I tell myself, Ali, I am the greatest, right? Then when I go out there and I've said it, right? Yeah. And so he said, you either want me to win, you want me to lose, but either way you're watching.
Yep.
I've already said I'm the greatest.
Yep.
So now I have to go improve myself, right?
Yep.
Right? It's not my fear was never about doubting myself. My fear was letting the people down that are dependent on me.
Yeah.
Right? And so understanding that brings me to this point, is understanding your why.
Yeah.
Like what's your why? Right? And so why are you running this 26 miles?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be a millionaire? Why whatever your goal is, what is the why? Like the real reason, not like I want a Bentley. Cool. But that Bentley isn't gonna, like I don't want that much to get up for like I would love to have one, but I'm not really trying to sacrifice for a Bentley. Let's be honest, right? So what's the real reason that I want to be a millionaire? I want to take care of my mom. Make sure my mom's good. Make sure my family's good. Make sure my daughter doesn't ever have to grow up worried about money. Like she'll never be impressed by a guy that says I have money. Cool, my dad has money. What's your point, right? Exactly. Yeah. And so like what's the real reason? And so what drove me, what motivated me was my family. The fear of letting the people that believed in me down, right? Yeah. And so when people believe in you, it's very selfish for you to be lazy, right? Yeah. It's very selfish for me to sacrifice on my end and say I'm believing in you. Like you got it. You got the potential. I'm helping you to get there, and then you're like, I don't really want to do it, right? That's really selfish.
That's perfect motivation is to have that greater cause, something outside of you. I know I get to race day and I think back of all the people that have supported me while I've been training, while I've been out, all that other stuff. And that's what drives me to the finish line. It's not so much as, I finished it, great. Yeah. But it's to give respect to my coach, give respect to the people that supported me through there, and give them a reason to want to do it again.
Yeah. Right? And so one of the big, like my wife we started dating after I stopped playing football. So we actually went to the same college, but she never saw me play football. She was more of a basketball guy. Let you know who people she was dating.
Those guys.
The tall guys. But one of the biggest things, like the thing that drives me is if I'm running, seeing my wife on the course, like running by her, and she's like, hey, you're like, fuck, I gotta finish now. Yes, let's go, baby. Like I kick another gear just because she's watching, right? I knew I couldn't die or drown or quit in the pool because my wife was right there watching. I know that when I go on TV, when I do content or whatever, my wife is going to see. So I'm representing her. And so when they say, "Oh, you're married to Gerell," I want her to be able to smile. I'm like, that's my husband. And so that's my why. Like my mom, like sending her stuff that I do, and she's like, it blows her mind. Like my grandmother doesn't have any clue what a personal trainer is, right? She's like, people pay you to work out. Like, why don't they just do it on their own? Well, grandma, it's a little different, right? By the way. It's a little different, grandma. I don't know if you understand, but like she's in her 80s. That wasn't a thing when she was, coming up. My wife's dad asked me before we got married, when are you gonna get a real job? So when you gonna stop playing around and get a real? This is it, brother. Like, this is it right here.
Hate to break it to you.
Right. hate to be that guy, but this is it. But he also is coming from his experience, his context, what he sees on my Facebook or Instagram. He just sees me go work out, so he thinks I just go to the gym and work out all day.
Yeah.
Bro, that was just some highlights of my day. Like that was an hour. So he doesn't see all the behind the scenes stuff. Well, he does now, but initially he did it. And so a lot of it is, like showing people that it's possible, right? Like where I'm from, that we don't have personal trainers that make it. Like you're either an athlete or you're a rapper. as a black guy, right? You're an athlete or you're a rapper. Those are the people that we knew that made money, right? Yeah. I didn't know doctors. I didn't know the millionaires that I knew. Yeah. They came back because they had just got drafted, right? Yeah.
Got it.
Just made it to the NFL, right? And so those were our goals. Those were our aspirations growing up. So the only way I knew to take care of my family was either rap or go to the league, and I couldn't rap. So
please tell me you tried it.
I know what? Yes, absolutely.
There's some hidden gem someplace.
Horrible. No, I threw it away. Right? Damn it. I did it on a cassette. It's for the people.
Anybody listening, if you know Gerell Webb, earlier works.
Man, I tried it, but
we'll pay big dollar on this podcast.
I'll pay you big dollars not to. But so football was always my thing. Yeah. But it was always bigger than me, which brings me to another point, like when it didn't work out, right? Yeah. And sometimes things don't work out, especially right now we're in the middle of a pandemic and a lot of people had to pivot, right? And so it didn't work out. And this just hit me like 2 years ago, right? It wasn't because I didn't make it in football. It was because I wasn't able to do the things that I promised my mother I would do for her. Mm-hmm. That was the hard part for me, right? Yeah. Like, so I can call my mom right now. She'll tell you I had one goal my whole life was to make it to the league. Yep. The only reason, well, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons so I could retire my mom. Mom was a single mom, 3 kids. So you can imagine what that struggle was like.
Absolutely.
My only goal was to make sure her life got easier. Yeah. And because I didn't make it, she had to continue working. Yeah. Right. And so that's the part that I took hard. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's the part that I internalized is that I let her down. Yeah. Right. She still has to wake up and go to work tomorrow. She still has to quote unquote struggle, even though she's definitely in a better place than where she was when we were growing up. And so what happens when you're in the dark place? Yeah. Right? What happens when you don't have the answers? Like, okay, I'm pretty much aging out of going to the league. That's not gonna happen. Okay. Yeah. What am I gonna do now? Yeah. Right? Do I want to wake up and go to work and work a 9 to 5, maybe make $70,000 a year? Yeah. Getting shot at? Yeah. That don't sound like a good time to me, maybe right? Yeah, that don't sound like a good time to me, right? And you don't always come home. That's the hard part, right? Yeah. So some of those guys, I appreciate all the, the men and women that wear the badge, and I understand your sacrifice and your risk. You don't always get to come home, right? Yeah. It's different. Yeah. Right? And you don't get paid enough to get shot at. Right. And that's where I was. Like, I don't really want to do this, but I don't have any other options. Right. I did everything the right way. Went to college. Yep. Right. I followed my dream, followed my goal. I did everything the right way, and I'm still in a dark place. So what do you do when you've done everything the right way and you still end up there? And that's the part of the story that I share with clients. That's the part of the stories that I've been where you are. I've been depressed. I've been where I don't see any ways out, right? I've been lonely, right? So coming from Florida, football player, I always had a pack mentality. I was always surrounded by people.
It's a team.
Right? So what happens when all of that is removed from you, right? And you still don't know what's next. How do you push through then, right? And so that's the part of the story that I share because people see you now and they're like, oh, well, it's easy for you to say because blah, 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 right? Yeah. Right. And that's what I tell, like, even with working out, people say, well, easy for you to say because you do it all day. You do it all the time. Does that make it easier or harder? I'm asking you do it for an hour. All day, right? I'm asking you do it for 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
You just admitted that I do this all day, right?
And you're complaining it's hard for
and you're complaining about 60 minutes, right? And so that's life. People see the end result and not what you had to go through to get where you are now, right? Yeah. They don't understand you had to push. You had to face that darkness as well. It's like, your son, he was scared of the dark. At some point we gotta go in there, right? At some point we gotta go figure out so you can see there's nothing in the dark that's not in the light. Yeah. So whatever is in there, we gotta go face it and figure out how we can defeat it. And that's the biggest thing about life is people are still afraid of the dark. They're afraid of going to those dark
Absolutely.
places of their personality, the dark places in their life, and dealing with their trauma or whatever. And a lot of times that's what it is. That's what's holding you back. Somebody in the 5th grade called you fat.
Yeah.
And now you've been carrying that around. Yeah. You're insecure every day for the last 30 years because Bob in 5th grade said you were fat.
Yeah.
Right? And so now, okay, let's deal with it. One, okay, if you are fat, what are we going to do about it?
Yep.
Right? Yeah. That's my next question. Yeah. 2, are you really fat, or are you just telling yourself that you're fat?
Yeah.
Right? Are you really these things, or is that a mental thing? So let's fix it up here in the mind first.
Yeah. When, so you had that sort of epiphany moment where you're like, I don't know where I'm going to be. And so you started training. Was there, going back to the business aspect, you're doing a good job now, right? Mm-hmm. You can tell, you're working your ass off, right?
Thank you.
There's no, like I said, there's going to be nobody on the planet that says lack of effort for you. Ever,
absolutely.
Right. Were there shades of that in kind of oh shit moment in 2020 when sort of the pandemic hit, because your business model relies on actually physically seeing people, that was starting to get taken away? Was there a moment where you had shades of that, oh crap, I don't know what I'm going to do? Or was it you had the plan, or it's power through and figure it out? How did you go from sort of everything was great in 19, the bottom fell out in 2020. As a business, how did you continue to move forward?
Yeah, so crazy thing is the pandemic was probably one of the best things that happened.
Really?
To me. Yeah. And here's why. And this is going to resonate with somebody, maybe with you guys as well. I was putting off things that I knew I should have been doing prior to the pandemic, right? And so one of my mentors told me, and I always remember this, and it clicked again, is that don't spend so much time in your business that you're not spending time on your business, right? So a lot of times we spend so much time. I was literally training 14 to 16 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
And so there's so much more other stuff that I need to be doing for the business, right?
Yeah.
To help the business grow, but I can't because I'm in the gym training people, right? And so it's like the same thing. You just sitting here all day and you don't go out and you don't reach out to people. Like I'm just sitting here waiting for people to come in. You spending time in the business, but not on your business. And so I have a gift that I was just sitting on. And that's, being in front of the camera, right?
Yep.
I knew that I was made to train more than, 20 people a day, right? It should be a national, global thing. I knew that, right? But I wasn't sure how to push that, how to make that happen without losing what I already had, right? Without losing the clients that I already had.
Yeah.
And so literally right before the pandemic started, I reached out to a company that I'm now working with. You can find me on NordiTrack Machines, Free Motion, Matrix, anything that iFit powers. Cool. And so iFit is kind of like the other version of the other bike that people like. We call it like, Peloton. Yeah, so it's kind of it's more infotainment, right? So it's like you're being entertained while you're working out, right? And so I knew personality wise that this should be bigger than what it is. Yeah. But I was sitting on that gift. The pandemic forced me to start putting things on tape.
Nice.
I start putting things, or I say on tape, that shows you my age, but start recording things. And so the pandemic forced me to start recording things. Everything went virtual. And so more people saw, oh, this is what he's like, right? Oh, okay, this is fun. Tough love with some humor, right? This is fun. Sent out some audition tapes. They loved it. Called me right back, right?
Awesome.
Yeah. So now I'm doing that. So now that's taking it to a whole nother level. And so a lot of the times we're sitting on our gifts because we're doing, that's not that I don't like personal training. I love personal training, but I also know I could be doing more, right? And so, yes, I'm doing well in personal training, but I also know I could be doing more.
How do you reach more people?
And that's the hard part. It's like, I'm doing a lot now, and I should be doing more? Like, you want me to do more? Like, I ran the 10 miles you told me to run. And now you want me to run 12 tomorrow? I just ran 10. Like, so it's understanding that there's always another level, right? We never reach. There is no finish line. Right? In life, there is no finish line. That's what I preach. I tell people, like, they can say, okay, when do I get to? You don't.
When am I done? When
am I finished with
dead?
this?
You're not. You're like, I still go work out every day. I still train like my phone's gonna ring and someone's gonna call me to come to training camp. right? It's not going to happen. But in my mind, that's how I like to train, so I still train that way. And so understand that there's always another, you're never there, right? You're doing good. Yeah, you're doing great. You're successful. But guess what? There's another level of success. Jeff Bezos showed us that. We thought he was rich before. Pandemic happened. He was like, that's not money. Just gave my ex-wife $18 billion. It's nothing.
Nothing.
Like,
I'll make more. I'll make that back.
I'll make that back. That's nothing, right? So there's always another level.
So you hit iFit now? So that's a...
Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm on iFit now. Like I said, you can find me on any NordicTrack machines.
That is freaking cool.
Yeah, man. It's great.
You know, what's kind of interesting is the analogy almost is like you said, you were in your business and you were every day you kind of wake up and all of a sudden it's like Wednesday, right? And you're like, man, I told myself I was going to do this week and it's getting towards the end of the week. And I think that's a similar analogy to people that are trying to get ready to, you know, like I think I want to change my life and get more fit is they look up and it's, you know, Wednesday, Thursday and I've been meetings all day.
Time
and,
keeps
you know, I
rolling.
said I was going to do that. And it's kind of an interesting thing how that analogy kind of applies, right? That every once in a while you just got to take stock of yourself and figure out, okay, is this really where I want to be? If this is not where I want to be, change it.
Yeah. Even if you're doing well, even if you're doing, like you can be doing well, like, I want to kind of pivot. And this is the perfect time to pivot. Take advantage. Like you can't allow so many people just sat around and, it's a pandemic. I can't do, I shouldn't, you know, but you can't allow the circumstances to dictate your goals, right? It's never going to be the perfect time.
Yep.
It's never going to be the perfect time to call me and say, I want to lose weight. It's never going to be a perfect day for that.
Exactly.
Because you're going to have to face that, right? It's never going to be a perfect time to open a business, to launch something, a new product. It's never a perfect time. You got to do it. And you figure out you figure it out on the way, right? Yeah. Like it's never, like you said, it's never going to be a perfect race. Yeah. You just have to figure it out and maneuver through that race, whatever that is today. Oh, my swim was a little slow, or my legs just feel okay, now what? But I'm out here, so I got to go ahead and push through it, and we just figure it out while we go through it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I would totally relate to all of that, and I'll share that's why I love endurance sports. Is fact that it never goes right.
Yeah,
you have everything going solid, and it's like I like operations, I like workflow, I like things that flow through. So I figure out what's the next step. Okay, this didn't happen. How do I make a change to that? How do I go here? I forgot my nutrition, or I was thrown up in the swim.
Right.
What do I do now? I need to get the calories in. How do I get to the finish line? And that translates across to life. So people like they want the finished product, but they're not always willing to put the work in.
Absolutely.
So, and it's just about one step at a time, figuring out what it is you need to do and just doing it.
Well, and I think the theme too is just start. Yeah. Right? I mean,
just go.
You don't know what the answer is. Like you had no idea. Like, look, I'm going to do a triathlon. I'm just going to start.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, if I go well, I go well. If it doesn't, pivot, change, and figure out how to move forward.
Yeah.
Right?
And like understand that I love challenges. So like the fact that it didn't go perfect, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I got to do that again.
And then you got a good story.
Yeah, and I got a cool story.
You got a great story.
And some life lessons. Look for the lessons and everything. You know, like I said, surrender or die.
Yeah, and if you want to change, start it. And, you know, you don't have to know what the finish line has to be because the finish line may not be a finish line. Like, I mean, we're trying to make this a lifestyle, right? That's what we want to talk about is wellness and fitness isn't something that you're done.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm done. I know that sounds exhausting, but, you know, at some point in time, you just need to turn it into a habit.
It's like Jack LaLanne. He did it till he died.
Seriously.
Like, literally
right up to the end.
All the way to the end. Like, if that doesn't inspire you, you know.
That's my goal.
There you go.
You know, is look at Jack, you know. Consider Jack LaLanne. And he was like 80, 90, still waking up swimming miles and all. Like, bro, like
it's awesome.
man's a machine, right? So there is no finish line, and just understanding that there's always another level to whatever it is that you want. It was always a new level.
Yeah. So how do we find you on social media? What will we watch? You've got great videos out there.
Thank you. Yeah. It is not I train. I actually changed it. It is at the Gerell Web on all social media platforms, and I changed it because of everything that's going on, because I'm more of a brand than I am a business now.
Yeah.
And so now it's at the Gerell Web on everything. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Great. Check it out. Thank you so much for being on here.
This
Your
is
energy
fun.
is infectious. I really love it. I appreciate your time. Everyone, if you like what you're hearing, give us some ratings, thumbs up, comments. That helps with the algorithms, and share it with all your friends. So thanks a lot, Kenny. Great.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.